Welcome back to Figure Out PM. Today we are talking about something every leader, every project manager, every human being really faces, and that is conflict. People have different objectives, people have different goals, people want different things. It's not the same thing that you want that I want. So it's not a matter of is conflict going to happen, it's the question of how are we going to resolve it. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 7 timeless principles that you can use to build trust, to resolve conflict, to enhance confidence in every organization without breaking relationships. As you know, this is Figure Out PM, where we break down the messy world of project management into something you can actually use. My name is Valeri. If you're joining me for the first time, let's figure out this together. The 7 principles I'm about to unpack here have been used in many organizations. It has been proven to limit conflict. The first thing you want to do as a leader is to acknowledge conflict instead of avoiding it. Most of the time, when people are facing conflict, they just want to run away from it. They sweep it under the rug, hoping that it is going to disappear. But that is not the best way to do it. The first thing you want to do is acknowledge that conflict exists. Look into the eyes and say, yes, there is tension here. It matters. We need to resolve this. That is the first step you need to take as a leader. The second thing you want to do is listen instead of speaking. You have to listen to people. When people feel heard, when people feel valued, they are going to open up into conflict resolution. This is the reality of what happens. People often want to prove their point. They just jump into that mode of proving that this is what I think, this is what is right. That is not the best way of resolving conflict. You have to be open to listen to people, because when they feel heard, when they feel valued, they are going to reveal themselves to you. And at that point, you're going to strike in and resolve that conflict. The third thing is separate people from the problem. One of the biggest mistakes that people do is they personalize everything. We go and we attack people instead of attacking the problem. But the truth is, the person is not the problem. That person is not the enemy, but the problem is the enemy. That is where, as a leader, you need to shift your focus. Instead of blaming, you focus more on resolving the problem. Don't go and start judging that person, because that person is not the problem. It is the problem that we have to focus on it. The person is not the enemy, but the problem is the enemy. So the next time you are facing a challenge, the next time you are into conflict resolution, you need to focus on that problem. The fourth principle, which I find very interesting and which is the most challenging that people face to attain when it comes to conflict resolution, is attaining a common ground. That is the fourth point. Think about this for a second. People often get into conflict because they have some differences, and now if they are able to come to a common agreement, it is going to be easy for them to resolve that conflict. It doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be massive. We just need a small area where people agree on something. That is, what do you want, what do we both want? When there is that common understanding, there is going to be a solution. So the next time you get into conflict resolution, make sure that there is a common ground. The fifth point is attacking the issue instead of attacking each other. Believe me when I say these principles have been used in many organizations. They have been proven in the way that has resolved so many conflicts. If you apply them the right way, you're going to get massive outcome. Let's turn back to our fifth point, which is attacking the issue instead of attacking the people. Believe me, words are very powerful. You can either use them as your tools or you can use them as your weapons. When you use your words to attack people, you are going to escalate that problem. But on the other hand, if you use your words to attack the problem, you're going to de-escalate the problem. And that is where leadership is demonstrated. Leadership is about resolving the conflict. It is not about winning. When you're able to resolve conflict in an organization, in a team, that is where you demonstrate your leadership skills. The sixth point is where you demonstrate empathy. You show integrity, you demonstrate your values, the standards, and the principles that are guiding you. And that is the willingness to compromise without losing integrity. It is not in every conflict that both sides are going to go with exactly what they want, and that is the ability to compromise. That doesn't mean that you are losing your values, you are selling yourself. You are just being vulnerable, you're just being flexible enough to look for a way forward. Winning doesn't mean that you always have to be on the right side. Winning means that you are able to resolve the conflict. If you want to win in that process, you're going to lose. But if you are looking for ways to figure out how you're going to resolve that conflict, solutions will always come in. And that is where integrity comes. Your willingness to be able to compromise without losing your integrity. The seventh principle, and which is the last, is what people take for granted. That is choosing relationships over ego. At the end of the day, conflict comes down to this: either being right or stay in a relationship. Are you willing to protect your healthy relationships? Are you willing to keep that trust that has been existing? Are you ready to protect your team? You need to make sure that you understand these principles. You keep your trust, you keep the confidence that has been rolling in the team. Because if you are trying to win this, trust me, you're going to lose it. But if you are that person who is willing and able to protect the team, you are not ready to give out your integrity just because you want to stay in that position. You are willing to choose relationships over ego, then you're going to find a way out. You're going to find a way forward. You're going to fight forward and not fight backward. That is what true leaders do. Conflict is unavoidable. Leaders don't run away from conflict, they resolve it, they listen, they separate it, they find common ground, they choose relationships over ego. If you master the art of conflict resolution, you are not just going to lead better projects, but you're going to lead better lives. If anything I've shared with you today resonated, if it sparked a thought, a feeling, or a question, please hit that subscribe button. And my promise to you, alongside with my team, is to consistently bring you real, honest, and valuable content that helps you figure out project management one conversation at a time. And that is what we do here. We have noticed that many people don't realize that they haven't subscribed to our channel. So if you are that person, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for being here.